Hey guys, I got a question for y'all. Aren't you guys tired? Seriously, aren't you tired? Aren't you tired of the fact that you're so powerless to your current circumstances? You are somewhat of a victim, or you are compelled to do certain things because you have to, not because you want to, or because, more importantly, you choose to. Aren't you tired? Aren't you tired? Because I know I am. Unfortunately, most people are content or they're afraid, and it's unfortunate because as far as we know, this is the only life that we have, and you're going to live on the sidelines. I mean, honestly, think about it for a moment. The whole concept, for example, and I'm just going to speak from my perspective, the whole concept of vacation is bullshit to me. I'm going to tell you why. Most people can't really take advantage of it the way that they really want to take advantage of it. You know why? Because of restraints. They have time restraints. They have responsibility restraints. They don't cut their vacations short or cut their vacations off or experience it for a time being because, that's all that they want to do. They do it because they have to do it. Think about it. For the average person, you might take 1, 2, 3 to 4 weeks of vacation throughout the year total. When you go back to work, and I can't really speak on my perspective because, again, I don't have the same mentality as the most people, as the rest of you guys, if I'm going to be honest. When you have to go back to work after you got back from a vacation, don't you feel angry? Don't you feel upset? Don't you feel powerless to the fact that you have to go back to work after it's all done? Think about it. You have to go to work because you're powerless. You can't really go wherever you want, do whatever you want, stay for as long as you want, with whomever you want, as much as you want. You don't have that power. Most people don't have that power. You have a very limited time, and even if you do, let's say, for example, you go to, I don't know, let's say if you go to Rome, for example, you can't really stay there for as long as you want. You can't really do whatever you want. You can't do it as much as you want, and you cannot really go to Rome whenever you want. You have to go back to work. At some point, you have to come back home and go back to work. Aren't you tired of that shit? Aren't you tired of the fact? And this goes to, I mainly go this for the guys, but I'm also going to put this to the ladies too. Aren't y'all tired of the fact that can't really get the type of sexual attraction that you get from the opposite sex or whoever it is that you're interested in because you look a certain type of way? And I don't mean like you have your own unique style or your own unique way of worldview of looking at things. I'm not really talking about that. I'm talking about the way you look. Because most of you are out of shape and out of control. You would be surprised. I mean, honestly, I would be hard pressed to find somebody who actually looks decent and looks good out in public on a regular basis. You just don't see that shit anymore. Everybody's sloppy. Everybody's lazy. They even go to work in their PJs, bro. They go to the gym in their PJs. They wear these fuzzy slippers in the grocery store. It's the craziest shit I've ever seen because they don't really care about themselves the way that they think they do. They walk around with this false sense of confidence, but that's a whole nother video. The point I'm actually trying to make to you guys is that you can't really attract the people, the circumstances, and the events that you want to because honestly, you're compelled. You're powerless. Aren't you tired? Aren't you tired of not looking or having the body that you want to have? Aren't you tired of not having the money that you want to have? Because the money for me personally, and I can speak and I can bring myself to the front here. For me personally, the money is the final frontier. My character is right. My fitness is right. My mind is right. almost everything about me is right except for the money. No cap. I view it as it's only a matter of time. It's inevitable. And I sure as shit ain't happy about the fact that I don't have as much money as I want to have. So I don't understand why y'all just don't have this anger. And you probably do initially when you come to terms with it. But again, you come to terms with it and you become content again. And that fire within you just completely goes. There's no more fire in your belly. You just accept what is given to you. You accept mediocrity. You accept being average. You just accept whatever comes your way, and you are powerless against the world and against circumstances. Circumstances have dictate, can control your life. You don't dictate and control the circumstances. Aren't you tired of that shit? Honestly, I don't think enough of you are tired, are sick and tired. At some point, the pain has to overcome the need to be comfortable. Comfort is truly your enemy here. And the sooner you all realize that and actually act upon it, the better your life actually becomes by proxy. But a lot of you and most of you will never reach that point because you just accept standard. You accept scraps. There is, for example, there is a whole nother lifestyle that a certain group of people, the elites, people at the top, there's a certain lifestyle that they're living. And if you were put into their shoes for a day, not only will you realize that they work 100 times harder than you, they have access to food, experiences, people. They have incredible networks. They have an abundance and a lifestyle and an energy that you can only dream of. And because someone else out there and a group of people out there are experiencing it, you think it's out of control, it's out of your reach, or you can't really attract that level of abundance. And you can because somebody else is clearly doing it. There's 1,700 millionaires born every single day. Why can't I be one? I actually find that to be quite encouraging. But most of you will view it as unrealistic because you've never touched that lifestyle. You never even dreamed of being attracted to that lifestyle. I'm telling you, when I was in San Diego one time, where the Westfield UTC Mall is, there's a restaurant called Javier's. It's this upscale Mexican restaurant. A lot of people with a lot of money go there, right? You'll see Ferraris, you'll see Corvettes, you'll see BMWs, you'll see a whole plethora of upscale, high-end luxury cars there. There was a Rolls-Royce Cullinan casually parked in front of the restaurant. And just like that, that was it for me. Every time I remembered that, and I did a foretake, and I don't do a foretake at anything else. I was like I literally just did a foretake. I could not believe it because I'd never seen anything like that in my life before. You may have, and it's probably not a big deal for you. To me, it's almost everything because whoever owns that vehicle is clearly the man in their city. I don't know a woman who just casually owns a Cullinan, but whoever owns that is clearly the man in the city, and he just does whatever he wants. And they just have money to spare for a few 100,000, maybe even 400,000 or 500,000, depending on how they, upgrade the body, not really the body of the car, but just like upgrades, you know what I mean? And these people casually have that money for a fucking car. Just blew my mind, and it makes me angry. Not at the person driving the car or owning the car, at me for accepting the circumstances that I'm currently in. But they're only temporary, and I know that. And I know my time is coming. Because I always have that fire within me. I have to keep going. I have to keep working. I have to keep pushing. Most of you do not. And it's a shame. It's unfortunate because you could become so much greater. I'm not going to take too much more of your time. It's just, aren't you tired? Aren't you tired of not having the money that you want? Aren't you tired of not having the lifestyle that you want? Aren't you tired of not having the family that you want? Aren't you tired of not having the money that you want? Aren't you tired? Aren't you sick and tired that you don't go to work because you really enjoy to go to work? You have to go to work. Aren't you tired of worrying about where your next meal is coming from? Or if you're going to have enough money for bills? Aren't you tired? Excuse me. I am not going to edit that shit out. Aren't you tired? Aren't you tired? I've been tired of that shit. I'm telling you, the money is the only final frontier that's standing between me and the lifestyle that I desire. Everything else, I got that shit on lock. It's only a matter of time. It's inevitable for me. But most of y'all, you accept scraps. And hey, if you want to be regular and average, that's up to you. But I can't do it because I already know that people, listen, again, we live in an age of extremes. In this current age, when I consider to be a class war, and I'm going to say this continuously in all my videos, we are in a class war. You have to pick a side. It is an era of extremes. You got to be hot or cold. You can't be lukewarm. You're going to get run the fuck over. So you guys should be pissed off, honestly. I don't understand. I'm going to be honest. I don't understand how you guys can just justify living the lives that you live and just accepting it for what it is, even though you know that there are a group of people out there who are living phenomenal lives. You could be one of those people, but you're not intentional. You're not intentional. You're not pissed off enough. You're too comfortable. You're too soft. And everything that you have in life, good or bad, you deserve it. Just like I deserve everything that I have right now. You deserve it. So I don't want to hear no more bitching or crying or complaining. Honestly, real talk. I hear enough of that from people at my place of work. But at some point, you are going to have to be intentional. And if you're tired and you're complaining, but you don't do anything about it, that's on you. I cannot feel sorry for you. I will not feel sorry for you. You are going to suffer, and I am not going to reach out and help you out and help pull you up. You know why? Because you can't even do that for yourself. You have no love and self-respect for yourself to pull your ass up and get your own shit together. It's on you. Nobody's coming to save you. It is all on you. It's your responsibility. That's it. That's all it is. It gives you the opportunity to be your own superhero. Why not be the best superhero that you can possibly be? But I already know. Most of y'all are just not going to do it. And that's okay. It's not for most people. Everybody can do it. And that's the funny thing. Everybody can do it. Most people will not do it. And it's okay. And this is something that I've actually begun to learn. I'm going to close with this. I've begun to learn that people to accept people as facts, and most people are just not going to make it. Most people are not going to make it, and hell continue to enlargeth itself, and the pathway to heaven is narrow, and it's like that by design. And I would rather die on my way to heaven than to dine in the comforts of hell. Real talk. Because that's where most people are going, and it's unfortunate that's what it has to be, but that's what it is. Listen, the message behind this video is actually quite clear. You can either take control of your life, take command, be the Oscar-winning star of your own movie like I'm the Oscar-winning star of my own movie. Take control, reinvent yourself, and become somebody and become something and get everything that you ever wanted out of life, the only life that we know that we have. Or you could just accept the breadcrumbs. You can accept the breadcrumbs off of people like me's table. And we're not going to feel sorry for you because we are in a class war. And the only way to win this class war is to elevate yourself. You're not going to get there by dragging people from the top down. You're just setting yourself up for failure. Get off your ass and do something about it. If you're pissed off, good. If I pissed you off, good. Get off your ass and do something about it. Prove me wrong by actually doing something about it. But even if you did get a spark of motivation, you're not going to be able to sustain it because you want the shit quick and easy. And you don't realize that it is he who endureth to the end that wins the race. It's not given to the swift, it's given to he who endureth to the end. So your ability to endure is going to determine if you're going to be successful or not. It's a way of proving to God whether you really want it or not. And most of you don't. Maybe you're unaware, but it doesn't really matter because damned if you do, damned if you don't. We have too much information and knowledge in today's world, especially with the technology, and y'all just waste it around bullshitting than actually pouring into yourself. And that's on you. That's on you. That is all on you. Don't put this on me. Don't get mad at me. I'm just a man who is in pursuit of getting rich. Don't get mad at me. Be mad at you. And in 3 to 5 years, we're going to see who ends up where. Spoiler alert. You already know where I'm going to be. I've already spoken about it. Question is, where are you going to be? Till next time, guys, come on. Let's get to work. Let's get this money, man. Deuces.